All right, all right, all right. It's Tuesday. We're getting close to some action-packed movement in the market. Some interesting setups to keep an eye on. Some money makers. But first things worst. First things worst. Um, there it is, boys and girls. Actually, I really have very few female viewers, but there it is. Theys and thems. All you pronoun messing people. Inflation rate year over year, core inflation rate year over year. That's what everybody's waiting for. That's what they're watching. The previous was 8.6, expecting 8.8. It would be nice to see it come in at 8.5. People will get excited, say it's a rollover. Based on the setups I see, I would say that that's not really what everybody's anticipating. And if we look at CNBC, really nothing of any value. Stock futures down 28. What's interesting is the euro, bang, 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 teetering on the brink of parity with the U.S. dollar. Haven't really seen that since 2007. I actually made a killing. I went short the euro, long the dollar, or sold the euro dollar spread. And oh man, did I make a fucking killing! That was a sweet year. Um, So anyway, that's interesting because I need some equipment, and I was looking over in Europe. And buy it cheap, fellas, buy it cheap. So let's take a quick look. The S&P, I really want to talk a little bit about. So let's get some of the things out of the way. What do we got? We don't have things over here. Let's go over here and get some things. The interest rates. Actually, you know what? Really, these setups inconsequential. Um, but you could see this downward trend. The momentum is weak on the upside. I'm expecting this bad boy to push down. Fundamentals can change this. Got to watch it downside, but I still got that target. I think long term. Well, I thought we'd be at 24 by now. To tell you the God's honest truth. Stop doing that. But I still think 24 is a likelihood. The VIX, dink, 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 in a downtrend, just showing a little more confidence in the market. I think that the major fear is over. And people are getting a good idea of what the market value should be. And that's kind of what the VIX seems like it's been telling me. And then BTC, getting a little hurt today, just in that consolidation. I think they're going to be looking for more clarity. If it could hold this low, then I'd be very interested in the break of this high of 7.8. So we'll keep an eye on that. 7.8 was that Friday? Yeah, I think that was Friday. If we could hold this low, if we could hold the low of the first, then I want to take that break of the 8th to the upside. So we'll keep watching that. Ethereum, it's got to look like the same thing. Yeah, man, it's the same thing. It's the same thing. But yeah, you know, this isn't. Looks like it's developing a bit of an M pattern. So if it's an M pattern, M as in Michael, breaks that low, we're going to look for a retest of the low, and then that would be our entry on the last kiss. BTC is the same thing. I mean, I would like to see the break of that high, but it's also an M pattern. If we break the low, I'm going to wait for the rekiss and then take the short. And last but not least, but most importantly, we have, let's go look at the futures, shall we? Here we go. This is the S&P 500 futures. It'll translate to the S&P. We'll jump over and just check that. But this is a reverse micro trend, right? You got a trend to the downside, then you're making this little reverse micro trend with the higher highs. Very aggressive trade. If we break this trend, you could see a good push down. The test will be the 51 and then a break from there. And I think we're heading to my bottom, which is 33.18. And I think if we do that 33.18, I think that's it. That's where I'm calling the bottom. it's iffy. And like we talked about in the S&P, well, anyway, there's the S&P. Looking at the S&P, you have the reverse micro trend. It's just much more obvious because you don't have the daily gaps in the futures. But there it is. Think. There it is. There it is. There it is. Let's go back to the S&P over here. Um, we reduce your sisters and Fanny. We reduce that. So let's make that bigger so you can see it. Now you see this trend line. I've talked about it for a few weeks. This is a trend line that dates back and back. All right. So this is basically a trend line we were following, and we could even go further back and extend that line, and it would be accurate. So we were following this trend line for quite some time. We have the lockdown. We have the ridiculous run up due to the lockdown, and now we're doing a retrace on that. And we're actually we're around the 38% retrace. Ain't gonna cut it. I say the 55 is a good one. I'm feeling that we're going to tag that 61 or in that range. That red line right there that you see, that thick red line that I'm showing, that's my estimate of the low. So this lower line is a trend line that dates back also, like the lower part of the trading range. So you see this broken line here, this broken line here. This is like on absurd days we would run up here and then trend back to this solid blue line, and then on bad days we trade down here and then trend back. So this is pretty much the channel we've been sticking in since 2007. We broke that channel, ran to the upside, and it looks like nature is bringing us back to that channel. So the question is, do we tag the upper part of the channel at the 39.85 and then come back down to tag the lower part, or do we just consolidate around here? These are the questions. Which way are we going to go? But we're going to watch that. Again, let's just, for clarity, because I know I just dumped a lot of shit. We're watching this. I don't want to change that chart. I think we're watching this reverse micro trend on the S&P. And, yo, that's a good trade, man. We break that, take that. That's a really good trade. The test. So if you traded 3 units, 9,000 shares, or you just peel off a third at a time. So if I took this trade, I'd take a third off right here at the 65.55. In case it bounced back, turns around, ends, and then I would have my targets. My last one I'm going to try to take off at 38.18 or somewhere around there. And yeah, I watch the patterns that it displays, and I'll probably get cold feet and pull the trade early, but it's still going to be a moneymaker. So keep an eye on that reverse micro trend. So, hey, that's it. Subscribe, hit the bell, hit the like. I appreciate all that effort. I appreciate you guys hanging in to the end. Be calm, cool, and at peace when you trade, and good luck with your trades.